Thank you, everyone, for coming today. On behalf of the Hills Chamber, we would like to express our appreciation for your membership over the past year. Whether we've seen you at every event or you donated your time and funds to promote chamber activities, we are grateful and thank you for your generosity and chamber fellowship. Our goal has always been to create an environment in which your business can prosper and improve the economic welfare of both our communities of Hickory and Palos Hills. Your membership is an investment in the chamber that enables us to provide your business with more opportunities for you to sell your products and services. We are the local resource that creates and engages immediate connections by networking and exposure using social media for getting information out to our community quickly, and spreading the word for grand openings and special events for your businesses. This year alone, our chamber directory was updated 4 times, and over 3,000 copies were distributed to businesses and residents at our various chamber events. This chamber is also a proud community neighbor by promoting funding and participating in activities and events for city and organizations that benefit our communities. We believe our community activity not only leads to business innovation and growth, but provides an invaluable platform for promoting products and services our communities use, providing opportunities for job growth as well. We encourage you to please renew your membership for 2022 as we find new solutions to the challenges you face every day and better ways to market your business. This is your chamber, and we always appreciate hearing from you. Your suggestions are welcome. Thank you for renewing your membership for those that did already for 2022, and we wish every single one of you a very happy holiday season and a prosperous new year and a healthy one. I would just like to thank a few people. First, I'd like to thank our mayors for your support, always. We hold you in the highest regard for your leadership, foresight, and support of our chamber. So thank you. I'd also like to thank Public Works for both communities. That has helped us hang things like our banners and helping us with the Scarecrow Fest. And with a smile. Where do you get that? They're always friendly. So, and last but not least, I would like the Chamber Board to please stand. Your help and your work is just so impressive, and we appreciate it. So please, will the Chamber Board members please stand? And introduce yourself.
I'm Teresa. George Boris for Bylight Bank.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, and please note that those cute little snowmen that are on your table, one is for each of you, and they were handmade with love. I'd like to introduce now Mayor Bennett.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is, again, my pleasure and honor to be here. Usually I let they used to call me the younger colleague speak first, but I've been given the first turn. You know, this year has been a remarkable year for all of us. you think about the last year and a half, I was talking to Mayor Holly earlier, and part of it almost seems like a blur, but obviously we all had to get on with business, and certainly the business people of both Palos Hills and Hickory Hills certainly had the challenge of their life, as we all did. First of all, we haven't met now in almost, 2 years? We missed last year, so this is 2 years ago. I could probably go on for an hour of all the things that have happened since then. But for me personally, last April I was reelected to my 11th term as mayor of the city of Palos Hills. It's an honor and a privilege to have to be around. I can remember almost my first State of the City back in 1981, believe it or not, speaking to the chamber back then. But again, it's an honor and privilege to serve our citizens, and certainly with the support of our residents, and certainly many of the businesses in Palos Hills that helped out last time around. I really thank you for showing what we need to do going forward, and what we certainly have done, in the past. And the challenge, as I spoke, that you all faced this last year and a half. As mayors, we try to do our best to work with you under difficult circumstances, obviously, with the mandates that were out. But I really want to thank, the chamber, the cooperation of our local businesses in getting through all that. I couldn't stand here right now without recognizing a couple of aldermen who helped work with me on continuing to promote businesses in Palos Hills, to go door to door at times, to ask if they need some help or assistance in working with them and keeping their doors open, but more importantly, to keep people shopping locally in Palos Hills. Alderman Don O'Connell and Alderman Mike LaBar, thank you. And I also like to recognize some of the other aldermen in here, Alderman Phil Abbott, 4th Ward, Alderman Mike Price, 1st Ward, our City Treasurer Ken Nolan, and I will introduce a couple other people as we go along here. But again, thank you for for your help and cooperation in trying to get through a very difficult time. That certainly segues me to what's happened over the last year and a half. And as I mentioned last April, in the last 5 years, the city of Palos Hills has had almost $60 million in new construction take place in our community. $35 million of that has been in commercial construction. Certainly, if you tour the city or go around the city, you saw the last couple of years some of the significant changes that have taken place with new businesses. We've had a handful of new restaurants. I don't have a list of all of them, obviously, but we appreciate their investment in our community. New restaurants, new services, new retail stores that have opened up, all make a difference. And in fact, the last couple of years, believe it or not, our sales tax in Palos Hills has risen significantly. Sales tax revenue, meaning people are shopping locally in Palos Hills to contribute to that type of revenue source coming into the city. We have some new things already in the works coming up in the next couple of months. We have a couple more new restaurants that are going to open up. We have development, if you've been down Harlem Avenue, that has been completely revitalized. There are 3 rehabs that have taken place. The 2 other properties are under construction right now. One's a 10,000 square foot medical building, and the other one's going to be about a 4,000 square foot new restaurant coming in. So Harlem Avenue has been completely transformed in the last couple of years. Again, considering what's going on in the economy, we really appreciate that type of investment and consideration for coming to Palos Hills, and we believe that they made the right choice. The other activities going on with building permits, again, we have another full schedule of permits already lined up next year for residential new homes and rehab that are going to take place starting again in the spring. Again, along with some new, a couple more commercial things. One I can't mention tonight because I'm under lock and key not to mention it, but I am going to mention it to the City Council tomorrow. An exciting franchise that's going to be coming to Palos Hills. The projects that are going on with the city over the last year and a half, we finally completed our Public Works facility. It's a 40,000 square foot building located off 108th and Roberts Road. It's a 30-acre parcel that we had planned purchased back in 1998. And I said back then, someday we will complete what the dream was, or what the project was going to unfold into, and that was a public works facility and a park. And also completed this year was something that I was very humbled and honored to have been named after Bennett Park, also part of that 30-acre complex. We were able to secure grants from the state of Illinois and completed phase one about a year ago on the back half of the partial. If you've been back there, it's an exciting park to take a walk and to enjoy nature. The trail around the lake has been there for some time, but we added many features in the front of the park, or as part of the east side of the park, that involves a new gazebo, not a gazebo, a pavilion. We have an amphitheater for outdoor concerts and for various activities that we will have working with like the library groups or other groups that may want to perform out there. We have a new bridge as part of the trail with a waterfall that was built by our Public Works Department. Talk about being creative and being innovative, and certainly the addition of that just adds to the beauty of the park. Last spring, on the west side of the park, it's connected by a bridge, and Lucas Ditch divides the east and west part of that park. We received another grant from the state of Illinois and completed a play area that will allow even children with special needs to utilize that play area. It's, in fact, all the equipment that we put into that park, both east and west side, allowed the city to be recognized as one of the first in the nation to have that type of outdoor creative activity that involves adults, children, and also special needs. So we're pretty honored to receive that award for that park development. The projects in general going on, we just completed a major local roads project, motor fuel tax. One of the things that's also happened over the last year and a half is additional monies have come from the state of Illinois under their Build Illinois program, which added motor fuel tax monies to us, which now allows us to go out every year and do more roads, resurfacing of roads, sidewalks, curb repair, sewer and water replacement. So it's been a great added asset to us to now be able to up our local commitment to improving the local roads in our town. We just completed, not we, the county just completed Roberts Road, and I'm sure as Michael would know, it's been a long year and a half, that a project that probably should have taken about 9 months, but unfortunately because of COVID and problems the county had with their contractors, it was finally striped last week, or this week almost. So we're finally happy to see that nice improvement to Roberts Road. That also included curb repair that took place, and it's a very nice road right now. Next spring, or actually this winter, we'll go out to bid with the Illinois Department of Transportation at 111th and Roberts Road. We're going to add a right-hand turn lane going westbound on 111th Street. And for those of you who go through that intersection, you know how congested that is during school. Well, there's a single lane trying to go straight forward to Stag, and other people are trying to turn, and the traffic gets backed up. Well, there's going to be a new accelerating lane, left-hand or right-hand turn lane improvement to be made at that intersection. But even more importantly for us, we are also going to put a gateway area in and around that intersection. On all four corners, we will have a stone monument, similar to if you've been out to Orland Park, some of the corner gateway brickwork or stonework that's part of their intersection improvements, and that will be included in that 111th Street project. Again, we hope to get it under construction by early summer and completed by the end of the year, we hope. But that's going to be a really nice improvement to that intersection of 111th in Roberts Road. Also, I am also chairman of the board of Southwest Central Dispatch, and have been for 35 years. And when we built the complex, it's in Palos Heights. We knew it was too small to begin with, but we tried to scrap together what dollars we had back then to put everybody, 10 communities under one roof. That dispatch center has saved our city easily $200,000 and $250,000 a year, along with the other 10 communities. We took our dispatchers out, put them under one roof, and created the agency. Well, we knew because we were short space and expansion and growth would take place that we began saving. So 35 years ago, we began saving for a new building. And just last week, we finally moved into our new 15,000 square foot, $8 million state-of-the-art Southwest Central Dispatch building, which is located on 95th Street across from the Save Room. It's absolutely a beautiful building. It will not only suit our needs now, but going into the future, and we're very excited about that. By the way, we paid cash for that building. That's how much we saved over that period of time. But we're also, Thank you, Al. Who pays cash anymore, right? But, there you go. We're also appreciative of Representative Kelly Burke and State Senator Bill Cunningham, who are also providing a $2 million grant to help underwrite that facility. So that's going to go a long way in not having all that cost come out of our pockets. We're pretty happy with that. As far as the city of Palos Hills, our operations, our police department, since we've last met, we have a new chief of police. If you care to stand, my friend. Jeff Cuccio has been our deputy chief was our deputy chief for 12 years and replaced our retiring Paul Madigan back in October. It's already been over a year, and Jeff's done a great job. In fact, we've had quite a few officers retire. We have continued to replace our officers. I bet you the average age of our police department now is probably in their low 30s at best. So we got a nice young police department doing a great job. Jeff's doing a great job. In fact, Palos Hills last year, we were ranked third in the state of Illinois as having the lowest crime rate, third lowest crime rate in the state of Illinois. So we're very proud of that. Thanks, Chief. Yeah. Our resource department, as always, is working with the Chamber on the special events that take place over the years. We were able to have our Friendship Fest last year for the first time. First time we ever skipped an annual event. It was a lot of fun, and again, support of the Chamber made a lot of that take place. Businesses contributing to help underwrite that festival. So we're very, very happy to have that back on schedule, along with the many special events. And we've tried to increase some. We've had a few now at the new park, at Bennett Park, and we will plan on having a few more going forward with some outdoor venues to take place and keeping the special events activities now that people are able to get around and get out to serve that purpose. Our golf course, for example, believe it or not, when COVID hit, as everybody knows, it was locked down, but one of the things that was allowed to be open was golf. And let me tell you, the last 2 years, we've increased our revenues by probably 30 to 35% with that golf course of people now taking it up. Unfortunately, if you've been reading in the local areas, both Silver Lakes and Glen Eagles are going to close down. They're going to be developed. So we hope that's good news for us, and more people will come to our golf course. But they've done a great job. One other thing that was important to us in October, the United States Census was officially approved, the 2020 census, and Palos Hills had the second highest percentile increase in the entire south and southwest suburban area by having a 6% increase in our population, going from 17.5 to 18.6. There was a 1,100 person increase in the census, and that's great news for us because, as Michael knows, we receive revenue sharing from both the federal and state governments, and those dollars now will increase because of it's based upon population. So it's a great, exciting thing for us to have that increase in population, and it tells me a lot too. People are coming to Palos Hills. Families are coming. People are coming because we have a great community. We have some of the finest schools. I don't know if anybody's here from any of the school districts. We are very, very happy with how the school districts have evolved, especially over the last 10 years. They're ranked, in the 10% in the state, both our elementary, our high school, and certainly we're home to Moraine Valley Community College. I've always said that, if you grow up in Palos Hills, from preschool all the way to junior college, all you need is a bike, and you can complete your education right in Palos Hills. So we're very, very proud to have that opportunity to host and be home of Moraine Valley College, and again, some great schools that make the reason why people want to come to your community. Schools, low crime, and again, our municipal tax rate is one of the lowest in Cook County. I can't account for all of them, but certainly our share, our portion of it, we try to keep it as low as we can. So those are the reasons why we think our population jumped as much as it did, and certainly with the new investment in single-family homes and families in general coming. So it's going to be great for the schools going forward, both the elementary and high schools down the road, with that type of new citizens moving into the community, or families moving into the community. I'm going to wrap this up. Michael, I could go on probably for another half hour, but certainly I couldn't do any of this, without this help and support of an incredible, incredible staff that I have at City Hall. Our department heads, our employees are absolutely committed committed to serving the citizens of Palos Hills. They know that from me. They're told that from me. They're there for the purpose of serving the citizens, and they take that seriously. All the departments, all the personnel. It's been mentioned about from our police department to our public works department to the staff at City Hall, the administration, building department, resource department. They're all here to help serve the city of Palos Hills. I couldn't have done it without having those kind of great people, along with a city council that over all the years I have been so happy and proud to work with men and women who are committed, also dedicated to serving their citizens and working cooperatively. With the crazy world that we have on today, with the politics that go on, when they walk into that door at City Hall, they know it's all business. It's not personal. It's not pleasure, it's business. And I try to keep that tone with everybody, and I think they know that. We're serious about what we do. And that's why I think the accomplishments that have taken place over the last year and a half have become of that teamwork that we try to establish in Palos Hills. I want to thank the Chamber again for your absolutely spirit over the last year and a half to maintain what you've had to maintain and do what you needed to do to not just survive, but to prosper also. This wasn't necessarily a survival thing. It was a matter of shifting gears, and I have a business, local business in town myself, and I was under a similar pressure that I know you all felt, but I think we got through it, and it's been a remarkable year, but a great year, and I look forward to working with the Chamber and having another great year in the city of Palos Hills. So thank you all.
My name is Mike Howley. I'm the mayor in the city of Hickory Hills. I want to thank, as Jerry did, I'm probably going to touch upon a number of the same issues, but I'll try not to bore you. I feel like it's almost a first time doing this for me, even though I've been mayor for a number of times with this COVID, because we've just been away from each other so long, so often, doing a lot of things on Zoom and whatnot. So if I come across as rusty, my apologies, but I do want to thank the Chamber for all of their hard work, the Chamber board, the Chamber members throughout this COVID period. It's amazing how dedicated you were to keeping all of us connected as best you can. You think about the projects, whether they were strictly Chamber projects or events or co-partnerships projects with the communities. We had the recent banner program up and down Roberts Road. We had we have the snowman contest coming up. The spring community event, business event, community expo that we had at in the parking lot of Conrady. We had the scarecrow contest, the trunk or treat. We had a food drive for a couple of the food pantries in town. The Chamber's been there for us as a community, and I know they've been there for you as businesses in town, and it's very much appreciated. We appreciate the connection that we have. We appreciate the partnership that as a city that we have with the Chamber. And one other thing we're also looking very forward to is next year. Hopefully we're all in a better place when it comes to all this pandemic stuff, but we're looking forward to the 2022 farmers markets that's planned through the Chamber. We're happy to partner with them, and we hope that's going to be a great success. I feel like before I talk about some of the events, services, or developments that we've done in Hickory Hills, I hate to dwell on the pandemic, but it's so much a part of our life. I feel like it'd just be important just to mention how the pandemic has impacted our communities locally. It's very sad when you think about we're a population of 14,000 now. We had 400 increase of about 400 residents from the census, but we've had 1,770 of our residents have contracted COVID over the course of this pandemic, with tragically 31 of our residents have passed away from COVID. And just in the last 2 months, we've had 200 more. It's part of the same totals, but we've had 200 people contract COVID in the last 2 months, and 3 of those 31 deaths have occurred in the last 2 months. So I would just really recommend everybody just please be careful, make sensible decisions with where you choose to be and who you choose to be with. Our vaccination rate, I don't think Palos. I know from looking at the communities, to me it's very disappointing. We have less than 50% of eligible people who can take the vaccine actually have been vaccinated. So right now, I think in Hickory, 48% of people who could get the vaccine are fully vaccinated right now. And like I said, I hope things change. I hope that number starts to increase over the course of the holidays, with people wanting to get together with their friends and family safely over the holidays, but we'll see. So with that said, I just want to touch upon that a little bit. I do want to talk about some of the services that we've been able to maintain in Hickory Hills, some of the developments that either have occurred in Hickory Hills over this last year or soon will occur. I'll start with our city clerk, Dee Catazone, in her clerk's office. I'm just going to say Dee is the glue. Dee is the glue that keeps our city going and keeps our city hall operating under really, really difficult circumstances. And I appreciate her so much, what she does, her staff, they're professionals, and they have worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic to provide our residents kind of a semblance of normalcy. You know, they can call City Hall, they can come up to City Hall, they're going to get questions answered, they're going to be able to pay their bills or take care of whatever city business they need. If they need a new recycling can, whatever the case may be, she's always been there for them, and her staff for that matter. Our police chief, I've been told when I talk to the chief about things, hey, what should I talk about today? I understand that he's the headliner next month at the chamber meeting. He'll be speaking, so I didn't want to take away any of his material, so I'll keep that aspect of it clean, short anyway. But the chief does a wonderful job. Our HHPD is great, as is City of Palos Hills. We appreciate the partnership of how we work together. One of the things that Chief wanted me to talk of many items, but I just picked this one out, is that because I thought it related to the business community, is that he's got patrols that go out in our commercial districts twice a night that patrol the commercial districts to make sure that things are safe, your businesses are safe. And then the businesses that we have that operate 24 hours a day, there's a special group of patrols that actually make a point of stopping at those 24-hour businesses each night. It's something that I didn't know until the chief told me about it, but it made a whole lot of sense to bring that up at the meeting here tonight. When I reached out to Sue, our Public Works Director, who is here, and asked her about things to talk about, she kind of said, this is all boring stuff, and it's not headline grabbing, and I kind of get it when we're talking about sewers and road reconstruction, but the more I thought about it, I didn't want that to play second fiddle to some of our development projects, because some of the work that Public Works, the projects, the improvement projects really create livability and quality of life enhancement issues that really make our community such a great place to live and have your business in. So I didn't want to gloss over some of the improvements that were in the process or have already been completed, but like Mayor Bennett said, we did have some additional funds that the city received, and what we did is we poured them back into our infrastructure. We did it through a series of grants. I won't get into there was this grant and this road project or this water project, but we have an aging water infrastructure, so we put in over 1,300 linear feet of new water sewers, just to assure not only that the water quality is there, but that we're not losing water. Water's so expensive these days that there's not a broken pipe and water's leaking out and we don't know about it. We did double the amount of roads. We did 2 miles of residential roads, repaving the roads over the course of the year because of these additional funds. And that's all stuff that our residents and our businesses, will come to appreciate in the long term. I won't talk, Jerry talked about Roberts Road, and we had ADA pedestrian crosswalk enhancements that were done through the Illinois Department of Transportation along 95th Street that coincided with the Roberts Road mess. And it was, let's face it, it was very inconvenient. I'm not going to name a town that has a lot of congestion, but it felt like we were in that town every day trying to drive around, and it was very frustrating. So now to see Roberts Road open again and 95th Street open without, we got it back. We're back to being able to travel around in our community, shop local, and everything that we need is right here. We're in the process, before I forget, we're in the process of doing a comprehensive plan in the city of Hickory Hills, which we've never had before. This will be our first comprehensive plan. We received some grant monies for that, and there's a number of chamber members who are involved in this, and we'd welcome more to voice your opinion on how you would like to see Hickory Hills develop. We want to have smart, targeted development for the future, so that it's going to be a positive and it's not piecemeal. And that's part of the focus of this comprehensive plan. So since you know our areas as well or better than me, I would certainly welcome you to become involved, or at least state your opinion on answer some of the questions. We've got an online format that you can answer, and we would really appreciate what you have to say, since you're making our communities a part of your life. As far as our business, actually, I don't want to forget this. I want to talk about some environmental initiatives that we did. We did a pollinator garden where we received some great grant funds. We worked with Open Lands Corporation and ComEd to take a piece of land. It was undeveloped. I know Anita and Ken Kisa are here, some residents from the 3rd Ward. It's an undeveloped parcel. I'll try to be brief with this, but basically Public Works had to mow this parcel for decades, and that's all it was. It was right in the middle of this residential neighborhood. We took that through the use of these funds and we made it into a pollinator garden with a gazebo, some walkways. We had some educational signage for the kids or adults to talk about the importance of pollination. We had, I think, 135 or so perennial pollinator plants that were planted, and it's really become it's beautiful, first of all, and it's also become a nice meeting place for residents to come over and walk. They sit down on, there's benches there, and it was really a nice enhancement to the community. We're talking about COVID, things you have to adjust doing COVID, due to COVID, I should say, but we had our Arbor Day. We didn't want to cancel Arbor Day, so we had a contactless Arbor Day that also raised, we asked people to donate to the food pantry. So residents who brought in food, which our residents were unbelievably generous in bringing food for the local food pantry over in Palos Hills, Elsie's Food Pantry, do wonderful work for both of our communities. And the Presbyterian Church on 95th Street, we collected 2,200 pounds of food at our Arbor Day. Anybody who brought in food got a plant, and then in addition, the city committed to putting to planting a pollinator tree in a parkway for every 100 pounds. So because of the generosity of our residents, we were able to plant an additional 22 pollinator trees, and many, many people who were in need were able to receive much needed food sustenance. So that was a really great idea. It was our community affairs group headed by Alderman Debbie Ferraro and our Public Works Director Sue Lear, who came up with that concept, and our community really embraced that. It was a really wonderful event. As far as development goes in town, we've had a very busy year as well. We've had 600, I believe it's over 660 building permits that were issued in this last year, 2021. 13 solar panels, which makes me excited. People are getting solar panels installed on the roofs of their homes. And I know we've had, if you've driven down Roberts Road, you've seen that TCF Bank is now Huntington Bank. If you've driven down 95th Street, you see that our Taco Bell is in the process of being completely remodeled. Our Arby's is in the process of being remodeled. So I will say those are much needed remodels. So we're looking forward to what the new concept looks like. And as far as new businesses go, we were excited to do some grand openings. We had Starbucks that opened on 95th Street. Sorry, Matt, but won't impact you. You got. We had Starbucks that opened on 95th Street in the Ricky Rockets development. We have Ricky Rockets, which is a fuel center at the old Lexington House that opened, and both of those are doing great. In the retail center where the Starbucks is, a place called Pizza Castle is going to open. They're a new business. They're actually from about 55th in the city. Yeah, I think they've been there 50 years. They're relocating to Hickory Hills, and they're about to start to do all the interior work. So hope they do well. I've heard it's very good pizza. I know it's featured on a couple TV shows. So we're looking forward to them opening very soon. Among others, we had Sammy's that relocated back into Hickory Hills. They're in the old China Wall on 95th Street. and I know they're off and running and doing a really great business. We've had the USA Liquidators at 87th and 88th Avenue. It was in the old, probably even shouldn't even say this, but it was the old dime store when I was a kid. We'd go up there and get candies and things like that. It hasn't, it's been a very, very long time, but and it's been vacant for far too long. So we're happy. We hope they do very well. There's kind of like a hobo type of a place, but they've been operating for at least a couple months now, and those are some of the new businesses. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting any. I better refer to my notes here. I don't want to leave anybody out. Oh, I'm glad I looked. Able Garage Doors is in, they opened up this year. They're over in Hill Creek Shopping Center. And just within the last couple weeks, St. Beth's Jerk Chicken opened at what I'll call the old Tasty Freeze building, because that's what it was always for me. But the online review, I've not been there, but the online reviews, they've got, this is maybe their second or third, I think their third location. They one in Chicago, one in Burbank. And the online reviews are great, so I am looking forward to trying that out. But that's St. Beth's Jerk at the old Tasty Freeze at about 93rd or 94th and Roberts Road. And then, since I've been talking with our Hickory seniors, probably for the last 7 or 8 years, what's going to go on at the Sabre Room, all I can say is the Sabre Room development is non-existent right now, development of that property, but I remain hopeful that at least a portion of that property, that there may be news on a portion of that property in the very near future. So keep my fingers crossed on that, because we've been proven wrong before on that, but we hope that at least a portion of that property will soon be developed. Like Jerry kind of wrapped up with, I do want to thank our school districts, our library districts, and our park districts for continuing to bring their services, top-level services, to our community in really trying times. They've done it as safe as they possibly can, and I give them all the credit in the world for doing what they've done to kind of keep, again, a sense of normalcy for our community, for our children, and for all of us. So it's very much appreciated, because I know my wife's a teacher, and I know how hard it is to do in-person teaching in particular in these times, both last year and this year. So I think all of those districts have done a really great job. I want to thank all of you for making our community your work home. We appreciate having you. And as Mayor Bennett had mentioned, really, if there's anything that we can do to help your business, advertise your business, whatever it is, we're happy to do it, because you make our community the community that it is. So we do appreciate everything that you've been through and all the struggles that you've done, how you persevered during this pandemic. It's really appreciated, because it's been very, very difficult times. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't say our employees also are amazing. They continue to provide municipal services as if there wasn't even a pandemic going on, every department. And I've been very, very fortunate that our elected officials in town have been great to work with, and I've enjoyed working with them prior to pandemic and during the pandemic. So it makes a difficult time a little bit easier when you're working with people that you really appreciate, trust, and respect. So thank you again to the Chamber, and I appreciate all that you've done, all that you're doing and will be doing, and I wish everybody a nice, happy holiday season. Thank you.